Woman of Success Without Limits. And today you are in for a treat. Hey everyone, my name is MartiAngel, and if you ever thought about owning your own business, or maybe you think that you're a little too old to start a side hustle or whatever it is that negativity is, I'm here to tell you it's never too late. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mujer de Éxito, Unbounded, Woman of Success Without Limits. And today I'm talking about the CEO pause. Why slowing down is the key to scaling up, right? So if you're watching me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, gracias por estar aquí. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you never, ever miss an episode. If you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite shows, gracias por estar aquí. Remember to download the episode because that's how the algorithm works, right? So, hola, hola, hermosas, mujerpreneurs, and anybody else who's listening. Welcome back to another episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. My name is MartiAngel. I am your host, your multiple streams queen, and your empowering Latina coach. And today I want to talk to you about something that just might surprise you. It's not a new tech tool. I know some of you were thinking, oh, she's going to give us a tech tool, or she's going to talk about a platform. But you know what? Today is not my tech talking day. Right? Anyway, it's not a new funnel. It's not a new strategy. And it's certainly not just another social media hack. It's something much more powerful. It's called the CEO pause. Now let's talk about me. Let me share a little bit of story with you. So last week, I did something I haven't done in a very long time. And I just want to share with you that this is something that I haven't done in a long time. I completely unplugged last week. I took a whole week off. It just made it so that all I needed to focus on was my mindset, me enhancing my self-development, taking care of me, taking care of my familia, my fur babies. No creating, no posting, and no coaching, and no checking in. Nada. Instead, I gave myself permission. I gave myself permission to rest. I gave myself permission to breathe, to reconnect, to do yoga. And amiga, you know what happened? Let me tell you that today I feel more energized, more creative, and ready to show up than I have in months. Now, I'm working my way up because one of the things that I would love to do is completely learn to disconnect for a whole month. And as your multiple streams queen, I am getting very close to that. I'm 2 weeks away from that. But anyway, sometimes slowing down is the very thing that allows you to speed up again. Yeah, to speed up again because, you know, when you speed up, sometimes you don't think clearly. But when you slow down, all of a sudden everything becomes a little more transparent, a little more clear. And let me share, mujeres hermosas chulas. You know, as a Latina, as a BIPOC woman, we're always taught to struggle. But I'm telling you, it's time to get off the struggle bus. Let's not resist the pause. Do not resist the pause. Embrace the pause. Now, I want you to know something. I know that you might be thinking, Marti, if I take a break, won't everything fall apart? Well, that's exactly what so many mujerpreneurs believe. So many people believe. But I challenge you. How about just starting with a day? One day to yourself. Put it on your calendar, and that day turn off your phone. Do not be tempted to, you know, pick up the phone and text somebody or watch what's happening on social media. Nothing. You see, because what happens to us as mujerpreneurs, right? As mujerpreneurs, we often think that success is tied to our hustle, to el movimiento. Entre más nos movemos, más hacemos, and it's not true. Movimiento constante no sirve, which means constant movement doesn't always work. When we think if we stop posting, people will forget us, I promise you that's not true. If we stop selling, the money stops flowing. Not necessarily. If you built up your back-end systems, it'll still keep flowing. As a matter of fact, the fact that I actually, stopped everything, I still made 2 sales last week. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but those were sales that I didn't even think that were going to happen, right? So la verdad es, burnout doesn't build businesses. Burnout breaks businesses. Burnout breaks businesses. And as Latinas and as BIPOC women, many of us were raised to believe that el sacrificio is the best thing. That sacrifice equals love. And that, amigas, chulas, hermosas, hermosas, chulas, it is not true. No es cierto. But sacrifice without renewal only leaves us drained. You see, when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I thought, I'm going to talk about this CEO pause because it's about filling your own cup so that you can serve others from overflow, not from scrap. You want to serve somebody with your cup full, not with your cup empty. Why? Because what ends up happening is you are a reactionary being and you react. And sometimes reaction does not help us. So what a CEO pause really means is this. It's an intentional break that you take to recharge your mind, your body, and your espíritu, your spirit. Not hiding with guilt, not secretly checking emails on your phone while you're saying you're resting. No. Es un descanso verdadero. It is a true relax and rest situation. But let me just share with you. So what happened? What happened to me last week? Well, during my week off, I journaled. Yeah, I journaled. I walked in nature. I took my socks off. I splashed around the kiddie pool with my pups. I danced around my sala like nobody was watching. Actually, it was in my kitchen. I tend to dance when I cook. And then I reconnected with my joy. And all I kept saying, it's happening now. It's happening now. And you know what? ¿Sabes lo que pasó? By the fourth day, ideas started pouring in. By the seventh day, I felt unstoppable. The power of pausing. Now, I wrote everything down, and man, it took me back to the days when I was in the classroom. It felt so good to be writing things down. I grabbed my pen, I rolled it, I rolled it, and it just felt good. So now let me share with you 3 steps to create your own CEO pause, right? So, because I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to challenge you, right? Let me give you 3 steps that you can use to create your own pause. Disconnect to reconnect. So you've got to think about it this way. Disconnect to reconnect. Step away from your inbox, your notifications, your feeds, even if it's just for a day. Create boundaries. Reflect and realign. Use the time to ask yourself, am I building a business that aligns with who I am and what I value? Because you know what happens? Sometimes the clarity, right? Sometimes the clarity, it's not so clear. Maybe you've been searching for searching for things that only show up when you slow down. Maybe that clarity you've been looking for is hidden because you're so busy moving forward and crashing into things and moving so fast that you knock things over. Whereas if you slow down, take a breath, you might actually get some answers when you do that. And so what happened was, that's what happened to me. Now I'm re-entering with intention. You see, my intention is now to continue to build a legacy of Latina leaders and leave them all behind me, right? So I'm re-entering with intention. When you come back, don't rush into overwhelm. Choose 2 or 3 things that matter most and focus right there. Focus on those 1 or 2 things simply and only, because your energy is your most powerful resource. Let me repeat that. Your energy is your most powerful resource. That's so important for you to realize. You see, because scaling requires space. Mujer, are you ready to scale? Because scaling is not about doing more. It's about doing better. ¿Verdad? It's about doing better. And better requires space. Think about it. When you pause, you give yourself permission to breathe, to see your business from a bird's eye point of view, to see your business from afar. You open the door to divine downloads. I'm all about spiritual downloads. I'm all about divine downloads. And when you do that, when you open yourself up to creativity, they show up in new ways of serving your clients. But without the pause, you're just spinning your wheels. Without the pause, you're just spinning your wheels. Con el descanso, you can create momentum that actually moves you forward. Con el descanso, with that pause, you can move forward in ways that you have never even imagined. Because you're clear-headed, you've taken time to remove all that doesn't serve you in that week, breathing, playing, reconnecting with your inner self, reconnecting with your personal reflection as you journal. And as I sit here recording this episode, I can feel the difference. My words flow easier. My ideas feel fresh. And I'm showing up from a place of abundance. I am showing up from a place of, gratitude, not exhaustion, and certainly not lack. And I want that for you too. I want you to be able to show up with gratitude, to show up with purpose, to show up with power, to show up with a smile. So now, here's what I've been kind of wanting to share with you. And I'm a formal educator. So mujeres, hermosas, chulas, if you're still with me, gracias por estar aquí. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss one of my business tips. And if you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite shows, gracias por estar aquí. Once again, this is MartiAngel, your host of the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. So incredibly grateful for you to be here. Now, let's talk about you. If you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you're running on fumes, or if you've been feeling like, I don't even know what to post next, I created a powerful resource that will help you clear the clutter and create more space in your business. Yes, así es. Mujer de éxito, hermosa, chula, you are unbounded, so don't wait. Others are already using it and shifting their energy. So I want you to share with me when you click here to grab it now. If you're listening to me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, I'm going to leave the link down below in the description below. If you're listening to me wherever you listen to your favorite shows, remember to look at the show notes and grab it now, because trust me, you want to grab this resource. You don't want to be the one wishing you had it sooner. So now let's talk about a challenge for the week. Because I'm here every week. You know that I'm going to be here every week. Tú lo sabes. Aquí estoy cada semana. So here's my challenge for you. Schedule your own CEO pause. Schedule it. Schedule it this week. Not for this week, but schedule it. Get to it and schedule it. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's the week after. Whichever week you want, but schedule it this week. Schedule your own CEO pause. Maybe you can't do a whole week like I did, but you can at least do one day or even half day. Put it on your calendar. Protect your time. Protect your most valuable resource, which is you. Mujeres hermosas, chulas. Your time, and you are your most valuable resource. So allow yourself to step away. Notice what happens when you return. Notice how your creativity, your energía, your energy, your ganas come back stronger. Because remember, I told you a long time ago, I walk my talk and I do not make promises I can't keep. And I promise you this, you will feel refreshed. You will feel like unstoppable. So, hermosa, chula. Remember, amigas hermosas, chulas. You don't scale by doing more. You scale by doing less, better. Again, you scale by doing less, better. So give yourself permission. I give you permission, but you've got to give yourself permission to pause. Your future self will thank you. Give yourself permission to pause. Date el permiso de poner un alto. Your future self will thank you, I promise. So, hermosas, chulas, if you're thinking, I am so tired, I don't know what to post, I am not sure if this is really what I want to do, you are hitting that burnout wall. And you must take steps to stop the burnout. You need to take steps to move forward and to empower your business. If you're out there leading by example, doing the CEO pause is going to be great for you. I know. I've been where you are. I've done it, and it feels great. So now, hermosas, chulas, gracias for tuning in to another episode of the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded show. Remember, I am your host, MartiAngel, your multiple streams queen, your empowering Latina coach. Now, let me share with you that if this episode resonated with you, share it with a fellow mujerpreneur. Share the link. Maybe somebody really needs to hear this reminder, the reminder that you need a pause every now and then. And always remember, your multiple streams of income is the key to your freedom, and your impact are waiting for you on the other side of your next pause. Hermosas, chulas, let me ask you, ¿estás lista? Are you ready to take a pause? If so, and you have any questions, make sure to find me on social media. If you're listening to me, leave your questions and comments below, and I'll answer them, because I still scour to make sure that I answer all of my DMs and everything personally. Así es que ya saben, hermosas, chulas, this is the host, MartiAngel, of the Mujer de Éxito Unbounded, chulas hermosas. And here's a announcement that I want to share. I have finally put up the website, Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. It took me a while, but it's there. So, hasta la próxima, chulas hermosas. I hope you have a beautiful day. And let me know, find me and tell me, when is your pause scheduled? As always, this is your Mujer de Éxito Unbounded, MartiAngel, saying gracias por estar aquí. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.